So hello guys, and today I'm gonna be ranking all of the bosses from one of the best games I ever played, which is
So
Metal
far, so good.
Gear
Got anything visual?
Rising Revengeance. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep the face cam, but we'll see. With a few episodes, gonna test it around, maybe no face cam, maybe a face cam. And all I'm gonna say before starting is there's gonna be spoilers from the entire game of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. So if you didn't play it, close the video, buy it, and play it all. It's not that long. In the ninth place, we got Excelsis, which is a giant boss monster, and all I can say, it has two problems for me, in my opinion, to be any higher. The first one is it's not a boss that is your size, which I like a lot more than fighting the giant monsters in this game, or robots, my bad. And the second problem is, in my opinion, the whole gameplay of this boss fight, it's still hype. Like, all of the boss fights are good, but because of the floor of the boss fights are so high, I think the actual fight is not very fun for me. So it goes all the way down to the ninth place. I don't know how community thinks about it, this boss fight, so maybe that's a spicy take, but we'll see. In the 8th place, we got Ray, which is a tutorial boss, but again, it suffers from the first problem of being giant, which I don't really like. And because it's a tutorial boss, it's very hype, but because I have beaten the game already 9 times, it's actually not that special, and the fight, it's alright. It's better than the Excelsis, but it's nothing special, that's all. In the 7th spot, we have Mistral, and now, maybe knowing what comes up next, maybe that's outrageous, but I think the the fight is cool, amazing again, really good, better than the last two. But what keeps her down from being higher is just simply the robots. These little rascals. They cling on to you and they're so annoying. One of the most annoying enemies in the game. So yeah, that bumps her down and yeah, keeps her in the 7th place. In 6th place, we got the ALQ-841. That's his name. Or a wolf, in short. And this boss fight is nothing special because actually further into the game you fight the copies of it, which are no longer bosses but just normal enemies, which is kind of insane because this is like the only boss on the list that you fight as just a normal enemy version. But I think when I play it, it's very easy, but I think it's one of the best fights because all you do is just dueling. It has very cool attack patterns or attack strings that you have to block, which I really like. Maybe the pause in between is a bit annoying finding the enemies, but at least to me, it's not really that. So I think the boss fight, even though it's very simple, and it's not even really unique if when you beat the game a few times, I still find it very fun. In the 5th place, we have Kamsen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the boss name correctly, but hopefully I am. I didn't play the DLC much, but from the times I fought it, I think the boss has very unique fighting abilities, let's say that. I think it's fun, you're fighting as a dog, and I think it's very cool, and I think he's the first boss in this list that I think is like top at S tier, like really great boss fight. And what bumps it and solidifies his place is the actual rubble attack, where he sweeps and then destroys the ground around him, and you can actually hide behind the rubble and sneak up on him and do a lot of damage, which is such a cool skill or whatever mechanic. And yeah, I think it's a very fun boss fight. In 4th, we have Sundowner, which I really debated between the 3rd and the 4th place. I'm gonna talk about it on the third boss fight when we get there. But I think his shield mechanic is very fun. It's challenging, but at the same time not unfair, which is very cool. I really like it. And his music just slaps. Insane really goes well with him. In my opinion, even better than some other boss fights. And when he switches to the second phase, when you cut down his shield, the fight is just so fun. I like the actual feel of it. I think in this game especially, it's all about it's more about not the actual maybe mechanic or the strategy or how you combat it, but the actual feel of it. And to me, the third and fourth place had almost the same amount of hype when you're fighting the boss fight. Now, what made me at the end decide that he should be in fourth place is because you have the final phase where you control one of the birds or eagles, whatever they called, and you fly through the building into... And that part is very annoying. I think you don't have enough time to react, but that's maybe just me. But for me, that little annoyance kind of knocks it down a peg and gets it a fourth spot. And the third spot, we have Monsoon, which the fight, as I said, is just, in my opinion, gonna be a really short explanation, but it's just a better dog fight or wolf fight. It's a lot better. It tests your skills a lot better. It's maybe higher even paced, and it just has a lot of cool shit going for it. Like, he can throw you tanks and helicopters at you and you slice them up. You're at the same time in your Jack the Ripper form, which is mental. Then he just throws a statue at you, which you can jump through. There's a lot of stuff happening, and it's just one of the coolest boss fights in the game. And because Sundowner had that one little annoyance, I actually decided to go put it at top 3. In top 2 we have, which is gonna be really spicy, and I don't know if anyone agrees here with me, but it's actually Armstrong. I think Armstrong is, I would say, a perfect fight for what Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is. And I think there's nothing bad, there's no flaw, there's nothing. And it's one of the best fights in the game. In most people's opinion, probably the best. But I think for me, after doing like 8 runs, I just found the first place fight be a bit more fun for me personally, which is why I decided to put and give this outrageous stake that Armstrong is the second best fight. But to be honest, because of how Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is, there's nothing really to explain it. There's just a feel I get, and because of that, I'm putting him at the second spot. And in the first place, what's left, of course, it's Sam. And Sam with his red blade is the best fight in the game, in my opinion. Maybe I could say on another day that Sam is second just because of his middle phase. It's not as good for me. I don't like it as much. But apart from that, I think just the feel you get when you're fighting Sam after getting beaten down by him at the first fight, and then you're fighting him now and you're just dueling. Like, basically they reference the Wild West. Both take out their swords and just fight, and the feeling you get, I think it's the best fight in the game. It's the boss fight that I get the most enjoyment out of. To the point that every boss fight I do with heals on, that you just heal up with where you should have died. But this fight, I take off my heals, I have one life, I go at it and try to beat it, and it's so fun. It's really fun. And yeah, that's it. That concludes this weird episode compared to other episodes on my channel. But to be honest, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just take it more chill and just use the channel just to give my opinion on the games I play on stream. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you've seen this, have a beautiful day. Hopefully yours is going great. And please comment how wrong I am. And peace.
Walk right into it!